Tomorrow night, thousands of folks in Iowa will go to schools and churches and firehouses across that state to caucus and give us the first results in the Democratic presidential race. Joining us now from Des Moines, candidate and Senator Amy Klobuchar, who's hoping to build on her recent momentum there. Senator, something interesting is happening in Iowa, and I want to put up the numbers. Back in August, you were sitting at 3%, and you stayed there for quite a while. But in recent weeks, you've surged to almost 10%, closing in on the top tier. What is going on, and where are you going to finish on Monday night?
You know, it is an open game here, to use your Super Bowl analogy. And by the way, congratulations on having the Super Bowl on Fox. It could only be better if the Vikings were in it, but I'm excited to watch the game. And what's been happening here is there's just a lot of people who are still making their decisions. We were out yesterday everywhere from the Quad Cities to Sioux City, to Cedar Falls, to Beaverdale, and every place we went, huge crowds, a lot of interest, people literally signing up yesterday, committing to caucus. So we're excited. We had 2 polls last week that I was at 13%, or one was at 13%. I was third in 2 polls, and we just see a lot of enthusiasm. I have more endorsements than anyone else in the race when it comes to state legislators.
All right,
and so we're really building something.
But, Senator, isn't Iowa kind of a special case for you? You come, as you just pointed out, from right across the border. Over in Minnesota, you have held 189 events there over 69 days. Don't you have to finish in the top 3 here in Iowa, or you're done? And if you do finish in the top 3, how can you replicate that in other states, like New Hampshire, where you haven't spent nearly as much time?
Well, first of all, I've been to New Hampshire 22 times, Chris. I just do a lot of stuff. And I literally don't put those kinds of litmus tests. I think we have to do well here. There's been a lot going on, having been gone the last few weeks, that I didn't expect to have happened. But I'm going to New Hampshire no matter what. There's a debate. I'm on the debate stage. I've got the endorsements of every major paper in New Hampshire, including the union leader, that have endorsed in New Hampshire. And so, of course, I'm going there. We have a strong operation there, and then going beyond.
All right,
I think that but remember, I bring something to the stage that really no one else has. I'm one of only 2 candidates from the middle of the country where we need to win as Democrats. I'm someone that's won with moderate Republicans and independents in the reddest of red congressional districts over and over again, because I bring people with me. I'm the only one that has those receipts that I can bring into this election. I'm one of 2 women that are left on the debate stage. I'm someone that has passed over 100 bills as the lead Democrat.
Senator,
there's a lot of stuff about why I should stay in this race, and I'm excited to be one of the leading candidates.
You've made it very clear you're staying in the race. Let me ask you, because Iowa and the caucuses have special rules, and one of them is if you don't have 15% of the people who show up at an individual precinct caucus, then you don't qualify. You don't get any delegates. And, you know, at the caucus level, at the precinct level. And there has been talk, and I want to find out if it's true, that the Biden campaign has come to your campaign and said, let's make a deal, like the TV show. If one of us doesn't have meet the 15% threshold, we'll put our candidates in the other one's camp so that they can get the benefit of that. One, is it true? Did they try to make a deal with you to switch votes if somebody falls short? And if so, are you going to accept that?
No deals. In fact, they just approached someone who is affiliated with our campaign but not on our staff, and some evening in Des Moines asked them about it. He said no. We said no. There is no deal. And I am just focused on our own race here. We have precinct captains all over the state. We have worked on this, and we are really excited. And also remember the rural issues. I serve on the Agriculture Committee. I have a long track record of working on rural issues. So I have something that's pretty special here going into the Iowa caucuses, and we're excited about how we're doing.
Senators, a new issue has come up in the last few days I want to ask you about. Back in 2003, you were the top prosecutor for Hennepin County in Minnesota, and your office put a 16-year-old boy in prison for life for the shooting of a young girl. You've campaigned on how this shows that you were tough on crime. But just in the last few days, I want to put this up on the screen, a year-long Associated Press investigation has raised new questions about whether that young man was wrongfully convicted. They found police offered cash to potential witnesses and relied on testimony from jailhouse informants who got reduced sentences. Senator, did you know, when you were the prosecutor, did you know about any of that? And should this man's case be reopened?
Well, justice must be done, Chris. And just to put it in some context, this was an 11-year-old girl named Taisha Edwards. She was doing her homework at her kitchen table, and a bullet went through the wall, and she died. And it was a tragic case. It was a big deal within the African-American community. And our focus was on bringing the people to justice and doing justice for her family. So what happened was 3 people were convicted, if I could just finish.
But Senator, I mean, we know, let me just say, we know it was a bad case. The question is whether this young man did it, and this AP investigation indicates that other people who were there said he didn't do it, and that some of the witnesses that were relied on were very questionable. You were the head prosecutor. Did you know? And if you didn't, shouldn't you have known?
There actually were 2 trials in this case, Chris. One was after I had left the office.
But he was convicted in the case when you were the prosecutor.
I know. If I could just answer. My view as someone that has worked with the Innocence Project for years is that if there is new evidence, it must come forward. It must come forward, and it must be considered immediately by the court. The job of a prosecutor is to do justice, and that means to me, convict the guilty, protect the innocent. Do your job without fear of favor.
But Senator, you're not answering my question. Senator, you're not answering my question. Did you know about the fact that there was this questionable evidence that the police were coming up with?
I didn't know about this new evidence. No, I didn't know about this new evidence until I saw this report. I couldn't have. I haven't been in the office for 12 years.
But I was wondering, when you were in the office, did you know about this questionable evidence? The reason I'm asking you is, as I'm sure you well know now, there are a number of African-American groups in Minnesota who are calling for you to suspend your campaign until this is cleared up. And according to national polls, you're below 1% in African-American support. You're not going to win the Democratic nomination if you have such little support from the minority community.
Well, I think what you've seen all across the country is that when people get to know me, I do well. And it's on me. I've got to go out there and get to know people. And in my case, let's look at Iowa. 2 prominent African-American legislators have endorsed me, are out campaigning for me right this weekend. At home, I've always enjoyed and have gotten strong support within the African-American community. I've been a leader on issues with the Somali community in my home state. And it's on me to go across the country and make the case for my agenda, which is very strong when it comes to the African-American community. It's about economic opportunity. It's about voting rights. I've been the lead on things like getting rid of gerrymandering and getting rid of voting purges. Those are my bills that I've led on. And so that's on me, and I will keep crisscrossing the country, making my case to the African-American community, as I've done right here in Iowa.
Senator Klobuchar, thank you. Thanks for your time, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.